Two. There we are. All right, Ty, Brie, how are you guys?
Good, good.
Amazing. Feel
Uh,
great. I love to hear it. Well, you guys have been in the program for now, custom program wise, minus your 1 week onboarding, 2.5 weeks, and collectively, you guys are pretty much down 13 pounds, Ty 7 pounds, and Bree 6 pounds in 2.5 weeks. I mean, that is really impressive. So I want to give you guys props first of all. And I just want to see where your guys' heads were at in terms of coming into your custom program and diving headfirst in and seeing the drastic results you guys have seen. So the floor is yours. Take it away. Let's hear it.
you want to go first, or
T, you could start first.
I think me and Bree, I'll let her follow up, but
Yeah.
I think we're on the same mindset. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's like going into this, it's just having an all-in mentality.
Hmm.
Um, it's just like we literally chose to do this. It was like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like we're going all in. We're not gonna like drag this out. There's no point in dragging it out, right?
Yep.
And I don't know. It's just kind of for me, it's simple. Like basically, we started on Monday. We had our one-on-one onboarding call with you.
Yep.
Sunday, we ate a couple cheat foods. Not gonna lie, but it was like mentally, it was like we mentally were like, hey, this is it. Like Monday, we're starting. There's no like we're trying this. It's
Yep.
we're committed, right?
Yep.
And the whole point of like hiring you as a coach is like that's the whole point of a coach,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And when we first did the like screening with you, we were trying to find out your story too, because obviously you have results behind what you're talking about, right? You've done it yourself. And so the whole point is like, it's somebody that's gone ahead of you that has created the results that you want. They've literally laid out the program. You just have to literally follow the steps. Like, you can get the results if you just follow the coach and what they're telling you to do, right? And so that was it. Is like anything in life, like, and that's what we just try to use like the same principles, whether it's business, relationships, sports, fitness, is like it's the same success principles, right? It
Yep.
actually doesn't change. And you just have to be like committed. We're like, well, there's no point in dragging this out a year to 2 years. If you say it's 6 months, follow the program, and everyone's results are obviously going to be different, but it's like these are like you're gonna see results if you just follow the steps. Then there's no point in like half doing it and
Yep.
then getting 6 months into it and dragging this out for 2 years when it's like, hey, let's just get all in and make this happen, right?
I love to hear it. And Ty, I want to touch on your nutrition because I mean, honestly, I don't think you've missed a day where you didn't hit gold bars for the last 2.5 weeks. I mean, like, I talk about like my gold bar method and like the calorie curve and like a plan designed for your lifestyle. And Bree, even with your tracking, you don't have the best relationship with it, but I mean, you still locked right in and dropped 6 pounds. Like, what was your biggest like shifts that helped you with your nutrition? Was it like the meal plan that I gave you? Was it the information that I gave you? Or was it kind of just taking it all in and like really be like, okay, I gotta like lock in on this tracking? Like, what was your mindset around like nutrition specifically? Because that's where a lot of people struggle.
Of course. Do you want me to go or Ty
Yeah,
to
go
go?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
That's
breathe.
fine.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. But it for me, it was because like I am very ADHD and I'm very I get caught up in things and I forget to do things. But I recently heard a really interesting quote is how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yep.
So when I started this program with you, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like it's like a fresh start. It's like a new beginning. It's like a happy new year, New Year's resolution thing. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go all in, and that means my entire life. Like that's something like it all has to change because
Yep.
my relationship with food was not positive because I was an emotional eater. And I would lie to myself because I'm like, I'm walking so much, I'm working out. Like it's gonna
Yep.
like gonna gain weight. And the fact is I did gain weight.
Yeah.
And like it's really interesting when you do track, it's almost like you don't want to eat that stuff. Like you don't want to eat that cheeseburger or that
Yeah.
cheesecake because you're like, I'm gonna track it and I'm gonna really find out what it's doing to my body.
Yep.
Um, and another thing for me too was just like I'm really big on mental health and I know food is medicine.
Yeah.
So, even before we talked about program, like your program or anything, I noticed my mental health was going down. And I know Tyre has probably noticed that as well. I was just like really sluggish. I was really lazy. I was very moody.
Yeah.
All the things that you don't want out of a partner, I was. And then I realized too that, and I knew for a fact that it was what I was eating that was making the big difference because I do take a lot of supplements and stuff, but I never really track the food. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go all in. I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain just to see if this really makes a difference. And oh my gosh, did it ever make a difference?
I love to hear it. And I
Right.
just want to touch on that in terms of like outside the fitness and health aspect of things. Like you mentioned your mood, and obviously you guys are fairly successful. You got a couple different business ventures going. I want to compare like the last 2.5 weeks of you guys like I said, this is gonna be like a lifestyle shift. And Brie,
Oh
you
yeah.
like it's like my goal is to yes, get you guys the results, get you healthy, get you in shape, but like the habits and the discipline carry over into other areas of your life. So like what day-to-day differences have you guys really noticed in like the last 2.5 weeks of just like I said, you guys like all in. And like I'm a big person that like I'll say like, oh, don't have like the all or nothing mindset, but you guys don't have that. You have like the all in mindset and like I'm gonna make this work. So you guys have seen drastic results in the last 2.5 weeks. So how is that tied into other areas of your life?
I think it's structure, right? You and the kind of just going back to like you're saying about getting ready for the meal prepping is I think you gave us like the tools to set ourselves up for success.
Yeah,
And because I don't think I would have been off to a great start if you hadn't laid that out. I think that was huge. Is like that onboarding laying out, this is what you need, like so you're prepared. So it's not like you come into day one like you're set up for success on day one, right?
yeah,
You have everything you need. You just got to follow through on the plan. But
yeah,
you don't go into day one and it's like, oh, I'm missing this or I don't have this. And then all of a sudden you miss a day and then that mentally messes with you. And you're like, oh, I already messed up the first day. So you go to the second day and they're like, oh, well, what's a couple days? I'll get started the next day,
yeah.
right? So it's like right off the bat.
You're speaking to
Um,
a lot of people right there. That's very common.
yeah, so it's just like making sure that you're set up for success. And I think you did a great job of that, laying it
Yeah,
out.
I did.
Is like this is what you need. Like don't procrastinate on it. Like you need this by
Yeah,
tomorrow because and then here's the videos and like
yeah,
it wasn't overwhelming, but it was like it's like here you go, right? We're ready to go on day one. So that
yeah,
was good. But I think for me, like it's a lot more structure. I've seen it across the board. Like in Britt was talking about like her mood, like even my mood, like I feel just eating better. Like I was skipping meals and just right low blood sugar levels, like just
yeah,
not a good place, right?
yeah,
And so now I see like I'd wake up in the morning, and I got this routine, right? Like usually I wake up, I've got to use the washroom because of all the water I'm drinking, but right after that, it's like okay, I weigh myself, I put it in the tracker.
yeah,
I fill up my water bottle, right? Like I bought one water bottle. That's just how I work. So, like I need one bottle to know where I'm at. Otherwise, I
yeah,
won't track it, right? So
yeah,
I think tracking is huge, and it's like you're talking about other like success and businesses and stuff. Like everybody that's winners, they track, and I think that's a
Yeah.
big thing is
yeah,
tracking your macros, tracking your meals, tracking how much water you're drinking,
yeah,
tracking your progress is like it's massive for
yeah.
knowing that you're on track, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen that like just I've gotten a better routine. We have our own personal goals like outside of just fitness goals. And I
Yeah,
think it's kind of it's brought a lot of things into alignment where it's like I'm structured and I'm doing things in order. It doesn't always perfectly work out that way, but it's like
yeah.
it's a lot more my day is definitely better structured. So
Good. I love to hear that. That's big wins in all our books. I mean, like, this makes me really happy as well because, like, I always set like these huge expectations, and I'm like, okay, like, you go all in, like, this is going to be like a lifestyle shift. And, like, I always say, like, the results that you get are from like your habits and your disciplines, and like they carry over into other areas of your life. And you guys are testament to that in just 2.5 weeks, which is really good to hear.
100%. It's yeah, like you said, it's like or what Britt was saying is like how you do one thing is how you do everything, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just a fitness journey. It's like this whole lifestyle, like you said, approach where you can improve so much more. It's just one piece that ties into the big picture, right?
Yeah, for sure. And now I just want to touch on you guys as a couple doing this together and like what like your thoughts were there and like what the decision making process was because I've worked with like, tons of people, and sometimes they'll speak to the husband and they're like, "Oh, I'm trying to get my wife on board, but like I don't know," or vice versa. It's like I'm speaking to the wife and she's like, "Oh, like my husband's like, I don't know if he should do it or should he not." Like what advice would you guys give to them being in the position that you're in and seeing the results that you guys have in the last 2 weeks?
We can both touch on this.
Yeah,
You guys
definitely.
can both touch on
Um, personally, I think you both have, as a couple, I think you both have to be on the same page
Yeah.
because it like I can't imagine. There's kind of two things to this. You have to be on the same page because uh, if one wants to do this and make lifestyle changes and the other doesn't, it's extremely hard. Like if I was wanting to eat out and eat unhealthy and Britt's trying to, it's just that's not I'm not supporting her, it's not
that.
supporting me, like it's just not a great combination. So I think we both went into this knowing like this is a team thing, like we're doing this together, but we're also responsible for our own results, right? So
Yeah. Yep.
like I'm not asking Britt like, hey, did you track your macros or hey, you shouldn't eat that. Like, and she's not doing the same to me, right? Like, we don't
Yep.
judge each other, but we're also supporting each other. So that's kind of the best way for, and that's taken a long time for us to even get to that point, such as like
Yep.
in this area. But yeah, I don't know, Britt, if you want to add anything to that.
No, 100%. I think it's really important, like Ty says, being on the same page as your partner, and to like really build each other up. Again, like he said, not to tear each other down and not to hold each other accountable because you're responsible for yourself. And I think in a relationship, it's 100% each. It's not, 90 to like 10. Like it has to be equal.
Yep.
And of course, that has taken us a long time to get to that point.
Yep.
Because we had to do that for business. We had to be on the same page. We had to understand the same things. And
Yep.
especially as a woman, women are very emotional.
Hmm.
And we think differently than men do, right? Men tend to be more logical, women tend to be more
Definitely. Yeah.
emotional.
A lot more love.
So you kind
Yeah.
of have to take that in
100%.
consideration
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
And that's where I think that's where most couples butt heads. I know we butt heads in the past over things because I'm thinking, with my emotional brain and Tyler's thinking with his logical brain. But if you
Yep.
can add those together, especially on a fitness and health journey, it is awesome. And it's so much fun because like Ty and I never got to spend as much time as we do now because we're making meals together. We're shopping together, we're, creating new things together, and it's just so fun. I don't think I've felt this connected with Ty for a really long time,
I
especially I
love
know with
that.
couples, they're so busy, right?
Yeah.
Just to have that one-on-one time and being able to sit down and eat together is super
Yeah.
important as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been absolutely incredible just for our relationship.
I love to hear that because obviously you guys shedding light on that is good because I mean I'm young, right? So that's why I wanted to like pick your guys' brains and like your mindset kind of doing this together because I mean I'll get on calls with people, they find me through my Instagram or they'll
Yep.
like come as a referral and then they hop on the Zoom call and they're like, you're like 23, 22. They're like what do you know? Like I hear it all the time. I've been in shape back then, or like, how are you gonna coach us as a couple?
Yep.
You're not married, this and that, you don't have kids. I'm like, guys, I know I don't have kids. I know I'm not married. I know I'm young, but I mean, I can look at stuff from like 1,000 foot view and like I can really assess your situation, see what would
Yep.
like work best for your lifestyle. And like, I think a really big thing that's also important, like, I mean, now I know you guys pretty well, but it's also like there's no bias. Like, I mean, there's no like, I'm not present in your life. I haven't known you guys for 5 years. Like, I'm a
Yep.
coach, so it's like I can give you guys like the unfiltered result and I
Yeah.
give you guys like the unfiltered feedback, and you guys will take it a lot more seriously because Ty, if your friend told you like, oh, you're like you should start this meal plan on Monday, like you don't need a coach, you wouldn't take his advice seriously. I mean, it's you also have nothing on the line. One, it's a friend you know. Two, it's free information, and that's like a big thing. People,
Mhm.
if they have nothing on the line and the information is free, because I mean, I put it all out on my Instagram, right? And it's all over the internet, but it's free. No one takes it seriously because they don't think it's the right thing just because it is free. And like there's a lot of trial and error you have to go through for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing for us is like
Yep.
it's like we're results driven. Like that's literally the whole point of this program is with results in mind, right? It's
Yep.
not the process. Like if you told me it's like, hey, you have to track every single thing you eat
Yep.
and you got to watch this and you can't do this and you should like and it's like
Yep.
I would be like, oh man, that doesn't sound good. But it's like your feelings, right? It's
Yep.
how it feels. Like I don't feel like doing it, but it's like it's not about my feelings. It's like it's the results. It's like
Yep.
yesterday I probably had like the yesterday was probably the first sort of point of weakness where I was like, oh man, I could like anything for like a Dairy Queen Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, but I was like, I'm results driven. I'm like, yeah, but what's that gonna do? It's gonna set me back. Like that's not. I'm on a good streak right now. I don't want to break that. And then the
Yeah.
more you compound on that, the easier it gets because you're like, okay, I've come this far that I don't want to just, that's just pointless. Like it's
Yeah.
right. It's a feeling, right? I'm gonna feel good for the moment, and then then what, right? It's not really gonna give me the result that I want. So
Yeah. For sure. And like with that as well, like I mean, I gave you guys the meal plan and like I tried to make your guys' meal plan super similar and like you guys eating together at night is something I like to hear because like I did put a good amount of work into that meal plan to make sure it works good for like you guys and your lifestyle. And another thing I will say is like I talk a lot about like the flexibility aspect of things and with summer around the corner, like going out for the occasional drink, like when it comes to that, like that is stuff I mentioned. Like you can sneak that occasional drink in there, and you can sneak that Dairy Queen Blizzard in there.
yeah,
What I think it is, and the biggest thing, and I'm going to talk to you guys about this more as well, is pre-tracking and planning in advance. Like, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah,
I think that's
absolutely.
like I think that's like, hammer on the nail is like that's exactly what it is. And especially when like you're super busy, you're strapped for time, you have a bunch of different things going on. If you could just look at something and follow it and not need to think about it, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, yeah. I
100%.
think I didn't even mention this, but I think the big thing for us is literally 2 weeks. We've saved a lot of money.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Like
Yeah, we gotta
we
talk about
actually were
that.
like this because we would go out for like all you can eat like sushi, and it's not to say we can't do that, but like we
yep,
used to go out for like all you can eat sushi dates. I would be eating lunch on the go or like skip the dishes or you know
yep,
what I mean? Because it's like it wasn't like you said, you weren't planning, you weren't preparing, so it was
yep,
just whatever's quick and easy.
yep,
Now it's like we actually prepare and we have food in the fridge. We're making like proper meals. We're not going out and spending money on like and now we're talking about it. Like we can still make this fun. Like you said, you prepare. Like
yep.
we can treat ourselves. We're like, hey, we've been on the for like 2 3 weeks. Let's prepare for a day. We'll go out for dinner, but like yeah, we'll plan ahead and like make sure
Exactly.
that it still fits within our goal, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like it's still a win, right?
Yep, exactly. I know you guys, what was it, like a week and a bit ago, you guys did put sushi in your mac. I think you
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
too.
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you guys sent me a message, or no, it was Ty. You sent me a message. You're like, oh, like what can I put in? We're having sushi. I'm like, I've been like pretty A1 with my response times. That's something like
Yes,
I've recently buckled down on. I'm like, I got to take pride in my response times. I mean, with
really
the
good.
amount of clients that are in our program now as well, I'm like, I'm glued to my phone. But I mean, I love it. Like I love giving value. I love getting results. I love seeing like the smile on clients' faces. Like I've done a ton of these calls. Like it always just brightens my day.
And I appreciate that. Like you
We do
said,
appreciate it.
one of your beginning videos, you're like, I'll put in 50%, but you got to put in the 50% too,
Yeah.
right? And I think you definitely like, and that's kind of part of the thing is like, okay, if you're going to be available and give your time and invest your time into us, then it's like the least we can do is like invest into like committing
Yeah.
to the program. And
Yeah.
like you said, like lying to you is not going to do us any good. We're just lying
Yeah.
to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I like how you touched on like the money thing because I mean that's so funny. Like I feel I've had like a couple clients touch on like, oh, like I saved this much money, but I mean it's not often. So I like that you guys brought it up because like another super common thing is like when I'm on the calls, whether people decide oh they're gonna do like a 6 month package or an 8 month package or like they do the monthly option, they're like, oh like I don't know if I have the money for that, but I mean they're busy, they're on the go, they're eating out they don't realize how fast it actually adds up when you eat out. Like, I mean, you
100%.
could be
Yeah.
dropping $100 a week and like not even notice.
Yep.
And this is the tracking part. Me and Britt like both believe this so much is that if you're spending the money somewhere, like
Yep.
you like I guarantee it, right?
Yeah,
Like you're kind of lying to yourself. Like if we pulled up our bank statement, right, you're gonna see like Subway, Starbucks, like Tim
yeah,
Hortons, like
yeah,
right, just buying like not great food at like Save On or wherever. And
yeah,
it's like all you have to do is just reallocate those costs yes, you
Yeah.
might be spending a little bit more if you're eating more and like on healthier options, but like when you really break it down, like if when people just look at it at face value, like, oh, I'm spending this much extra money, but it's like, no, for us, like we're actually saving some money, right? We're investing
Yep.
into like our health and
Yep.
future, like too. And it's not when you really break it down, that's not a huge added cost, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's like, and it's investing the money into yourself long term, your health, your fitness, and then eventually that does translate into your wealth. Like
Yes.
that's the cycle it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
100% believe that.
Yeah. And now just to kind of wrap things up, because there's going to be a lot of my excuse me. Now I'm running out of words today. I've been doing these calls for a while. There's going to be a lot of like my current clients that do watch this and like they're struggling, whether, like I said, you guys are like the outliers. Like you guys have seen crazy results in 2.5 weeks. A lot of people that have been in the program and like, they're like kind of half in, half out. They'll track some days and they'll, skip a couple days and like they'll hit like gold bars once or twice and they're like, oh, like I'm good. Right. So I kind of want to ask you guys, like, what advice would you give them if like you were in their situation? Like kind of put yourself in their shoes. I know that's probably kind of hard to do considering you guys are killing it, but what advice would you give them?
Go ahead, Brie.
Yeah, either one of you.
Um, again, once when you do one thing, that's how you do everything. And that's the quote I'm living by now. And I believe it is so important if you want to make change, and we've all talked about change, but we hate change because change is
Yeah,
scary, change is different. But it is so important to jump all in because you have nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to
I like
lose and
that. Yeah.
everything to gain.
Yeah.
And right, and I know I know it's scary, but you will thank yourself down the road because there's so many different sicknesses and diseases and everything that's out there that we can actually conquer through our food choices and our thought processes.
Yeah.
And if we're feeding ourselves junk food and crap, you're gonna have a crappy,
Yeah.
like you're gonna have crappy thoughts and stuff like that too. So it's so important to do everything. And of course, our intestines and our gut is our second brain.
Yep.
So I think a lot of, anxiety, a lot of depression, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not speaking for that, but that is a huge thing as well. So what you feed yourself, you're gonna you're gonna feel.
Yeah.
So I think like honestly, just like jumping all in, making the change and like you said, health leads to wealth. You'll be so surprised what else will change in your life. Like I even recently, and you can probably speak for this too. I have like changed everything. So like my morning routine, when I'm like feeding my brain, my night routine, and then also like keeping things super organized, which was very hard for me
Yeah.
because again, ADHD, like I leave stuff
Yeah.
everywhere. Like our house has never looked this clean. It's been like clean for a week straight.
Yeah.
It's actually shocking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that just your environment is everything. I mean, that
It
probably
is.
like ADHD, clutter brain. If your house is cluttered, it's like, oh my God, where do I start? But I mean, at
Yep.
least the house is clean now. So, ADHD brain, we can manage that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and
And I
like
don't.
gym probably helps a ton with that as well, right? Like,
Yep.
I mean, gym, focus on yourself, whether it's in the
Yep.
morning, middle of the day to clear your head, or like end of the night is like a
Yep.
wind down. Like, I know you guys hit the gym at night, and that's something you guys do like. So I bet that helps a lot as well.
Time. Big time.
And we like this wasn't like I know you're saying we're hitting I mean our goals now, right?
Yep.
On each day, but that's not like who we started out as, right? Like it's taken
No,
us a
that's
long time to get there. So
yeah.
it's like it really was like our mindset coming in this program. If we had done this program 2 years ago, it probably wouldn't have the same results, to be honest. So
Yep.
it's like not really fair for people to be like,
That's
okay, these
true.
guys are like maybe hitting their goals. It
Yeah.
really was like a big mindset shift, but it took time for us to grow ourselves to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Britt said, it's just that all in, like just it's going all in. But the whole point of having a coach is like lean into the coach, right? Like if
Yes.
you're struggling, like, and I appreciate that about you, is like you always make yourself available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of hiring a coach, right? Is
Yep.
like yeah, sometimes you need somebody to like you have to take accountability for your own actions. Like you can't do that for me, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't eat the food for me, you can't make the food for me, you can't make the decisions.
Yeah.
But like that's got to be I got to be accountable myself to the program and to myself. But at least you have that coach that can be there for you to give you that guidance and that encouragement too, right? So that's huge.
That is huge. That's I should have added that too, Ty. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Is just having that coach, someone in your corner that, wants the same thing you do. And it's something really important. Like I think, we have a business coach as well. And just knowing that it's great to have not only someone in your corner, but someone that's gonna challenge you in a good way
Yeah.
and like help you become your best self.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that. And I like how
yeah,
you, Ty, I like how you said that about like the mindset portion of things. Like, if you had joined my program 3 years or 2 years ago, you said you wouldn't have seen the same results as you're seeing now. And like that speaks for both of you. I like how you guys said that because a lot of people do not know how important mindset is, right? I mean, like most average people do not focus on their mindset at all. Like, I mean, you guys do because, you guys obviously have seen a decent amount of success. You guys are home shopping now and you guys have a couple different business ventures going on. I mean, like the mindset portion of things really, really, falls into play when you realize, okay, business, life, everything, like you realize it's all glued together. Like, especially
yeah.
if you want to continue to see a good amount of success, like you need to focus on yourself, your mindset, your personal development. And I think it's super important. Like we said, health always translates into wealth long term. And like how much like stress can you take, right? I mean, like if you focus on yourself and like, you fill up I always say this, you fill up your cup first, like this. If your cup is like this and you're trying to pour all your time and energy into everyone else, I mean, it's gonna run out real quick. But
Yep.
if you take care of yourself first and you have this entire liter bottle, I mean, you can do a lot more and you can take a lot more and you can deal with a lot more for sure.
Absolutely. We actually saw this really good illustration the other day. Um, and it was like the glass, like the full glass. And
Yeah.
it was what people think consistency is. They think every single day that glass is full like at the brim, right? Like every single
Yeah.
day that's consistency maxed out. And it's like that's not reality, right? Like you might have one day where like you're on it, like you rock the workout, you hit your calorie goal, your
Yeah.
macros like spot on, your day is like perfectly laid out, but then the next day, like you just don't have the motivation, or like something happens personally or emotionally, or something at work happens, or you get
Yeah.
cut off,
Yeah.
right? But it's like the glass might only be 60% full, but it's like, hey, as long as you're still like the whole point is like just consistent, right? Then the next day might be like 80% and you're back to 100, but you might be back down to like 60. It's like just as
Yeah.
long as you're just consistent every single day, it's not going to look perfect. It's just as long as you're doing it. That's it.
Exactly. Well, that's what matters the most. I mean, yeah, like consistency is like it's super powerful. I always think about it as like, a train of momentum. Once you're like kind of in momentum and like, you got like Ty, I mean, behind you, you got what, 2.5 weeks of like pretty solid consistency now. And, maybe it's, you're at 100% one day and 60% the other day, 70%, 80%, 55. But I mean, you have all that momentum that's been building up. And then even if by chance, you fall off track for one day completely and like, you don't track your food, you miss your morning routine. I mean, you still got, 2.5 weeks of solid consistency behind you to keep you going. Like, I mean, that one day, if you have like, all that consistency behind you, that one day isn't gonna like, fully cause you to flop. I mean, unless your mindset is like completely horrible, which, that's
Yeah.
another problem. But I think like consistency and momentum is like super, super important. And like, I like that we're talking about this now because the people that are watching this, clients, or potential clients, if they watch it, like they're going to realize how like important it actually is, and maybe they don't even come into the program, but this is like a golden nugget for them that we can give them because we've been in the trenches doing the work, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, last thing to wrap this up, what would you guys say to someone that is watching this and like they're on the fence for the program? Maybe they don't think it's going to work for them, single person or couple, or they just, don't think it's worth to like carve out the money for the program and, cut their eating out and, maybe they don't track their spending. Maybe they're not aware of how much they're spending out. Whatever, bottleneck they have that's holding them from, going all in on themselves. What would you guys say to them to kind of tip them over in the right direction?
I know from personal experience that if you're gonna drag this out, it just will get frustrating. Like 100%. I've been there, I've done it. Like
Hmm?
you just get frustrated with the results, you get frustrated with yourself, you'll start blaming things, you'll start blaming your coach, right? You'll start blaming you, say like,
Yeah,
oh, but it's really like you have to take accountability for your own results. Like,
yeah,
and if it's having that result approach, right, versus the process, right? If you
yeah,
want to go to Hawaii, right? That's the destination. That's like where you want to get to, right? That's I have a goal of where I want to be after 24 weeks. That's where I want to be, right?
yeah,
I'm not focused on like all the meals and the workouts that I'm going to have to do and all the reps I have to do. It's the results, right? So
yeah,
it's like if you want to go to Hawaii, you know where you want to go, but it probably makes the most sense to take a plane, right? You might hate flying, but logically that makes the most sense because that's
yeah,
what's going to get you there the best, the most efficient way, right? So it's like you talked about your why right off the bat on the first
yeah.
onboarding thing. You're like, "Is your why?" And it comes down to that. And it's anything in life. It's your why. It's like 100%. You have to have a why. Why would you even want to do this program? Because
Yes.
if you're like questioning whether I can do it or not, that's not the question to ask, right? It's like it's what is your why? What is the purpose? What do you want to achieve out of this? The
Yes.
other the other things are just steps, right?
Yeah,
It's just steps to it, and and then you just and then that's what you're here for. Is just break it down. Don't overwhelm the whole thing. This is where
yeah,
you want to be. We're gonna slowly take steps to get you there,
yeah,
and that's where you come into play. But the other thing is like you're gonna fail. I mean, it's anything in life. I think I had the wrong, in school they teach you failing's bad, but it's like the only way you're gonna learn is like you said, you might have one day where you fall off. It's like it's all good, it's one day. Just don't make a consistent thing of like making excuses that like, oh, I fell off like here and then again and again. It's like just pick yourself back up, start fresh the next day, keep going. It's not the end of the world. But like you're gonna make mistakes, right? Like
yeah,
and it's like me too, right? It's like my even I thought I was working out, and it's like, but that's where the coach is, right? Because it's like my form might not be right, right? And then
yeah,
you can just tweak something slightly that
yeah,
can make a huge difference over the long run that I might never have personally seen, but you can pick it out
yeah.
and you're going to be unbiased about it too, right? Which is huge.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I like how you said that about the why and like, and it's the most important thing. And that's why, like, I could talk about the why and, why people want to do it. Like, I always ask people, why is your goal important to you? But them hearing you say it and they'll be like, holy shit, like, dig deep. Like, what's the reason?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do it? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and like some people don't dig deep. Some people give like a surface level reason. Oh, I don't feel good. Okay. A lot of people don't feel good. Like, no, dig deep.
Yeah.
Why? Do you not like looking in the mirror every morning? Like, do you not like what you see? Do you feel sluggish? Like, is it affecting your relationship? Is it affecting, your personal growth? I mean, the amount of money that you want to make. Like, are you constantly tired? Do you feel overwhelmed, stressed out? I mean, like, all of those things will get fixed by doing what? Not taking medication, focusing on your health and fitness. So, like, I think this is a good place to end it. Like, get crystal clear on your why. So, like, I
Yeah.
love that you brought that up. And Brie, if there's anything you want to add to wrap this up.
I think the same thing as Ty. It's all about your why. And it's not necessarily, how you want to get there or like your favorite way to get somewhere. It's what's
Yeah,
going to work,
yeah,
right? Because, success is never easy. It's always uphill.
yeah,
And if you think you're going to go downhill, like these magic drugs that you take and just your weight falls off and all that kind of stuff, believe me, I've tried it. I got sucked in. It doesn't work. And really, hiring a coach, hiring someone that understands food, understands fitness, can get you where you want to go. And like Jaden said, health is will equal wealth.
yeah,
Once you change your health, once you change, everything that you intake,
yeah,
and I know you do such a great job, and I love your morning routine, I love your night routine, I love how you talk about mindset. And I
love it.
think once you change that, you will shock yourself
Yeah,
because you can either sit on the fence and think for, another 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is.
yeah,
But you're not going to like that person you are in 5 years from now. And I can promise you, Ty and I are going to love our future selves 5 years from now because we are putting in that work and we are, following step by step what to do thanks to you.
Yep.
And I know that you are going to help us accomplish everything and above.
Boom. I
I
love
think
you.
that's my last
Wrap
note,
it up
Jade.
there.
Last comment is just
Yep.
she touched on it. It's like your future self is like what would your future self if you're on the 24-week program, whatever that is, what
Yep.
would your future self like say to you 24 weeks from now? If that person was like looking back on you today, is like what
Yep.
would they say? Like if they were where you wanted to be, the end result,
Yep.
right? When you're like, oh man, I really want that, I want to, or you're like, I don't feel like working out today. Is like, what would that person say to you today if you follow through like that feeling? Like how much better would you feel that you followed through and committed and kept your word, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, most people that come into our program, whether most of them have 15 to 30 pounds to lose, 20 to 30 pounds. What would the 30 pounds down person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 months from now be saying to you right now? Would they tell you to, be on the Zoom call with me and, tell me they need to think about it or, tell me they don't want to cut down on eating out and, they don't want to invest, $350 a month? Like, I mean, what would that person say? That person would most likely tell you, hire the coach, go all in,
Yeah.
get your health on track, right? And like
100%.
learn the process. And this is something like I've said to you guys a lot on our initial call when, I brought both you into the program was like, I want to get you guys the results and I want to teach you the process to keep those results for the rest of your life
Yes.
without needing another personal trainer. And like you guys can speak from experience the last 2.5 weeks, like lay it out. How much have you guys learned?
Oh
Ton.
my gosh. Above and
So
beyond
much.
what I ever
I
thought.
I mean, it's like I was telling Brie at the gym. It's like, I thought I knew kind of how to work out. I thought I was working, but I was kind of faking myself out, to be honest. I was like plateaued and I wasn't really pushing myself. Now it's like you have a coach that's really pushing you and you're accountable, not just yourself, but someone else, right? That wants to see the best results out of you as well. And that's huge. So
I love it. Boom. We can wrap that
Oh,
up there. Thank you guys so much
you're so
for taking the
welcome.
time out of your day. People are going to get a ton of value from this.
appreciate you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Jade. And thank you so much for all your hard work and
Anytime.
we're so grateful for you. I have no idea.
I love it.